Hello, good morning everyone. I welcome you back to my YouTube channel. Presenting before you this wonderful tutorial is Hampir Kliman Mentor, and I welcome you to my online class. And today I will be teaching you on trigonometry. Okay, so we are going to go through an overview of the sine rule, the cosine rule, how to calculate the distance, the shortest distance, as well as the area. Our main goal is simply to make everything simple for you. Let's get started. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to teach you the cosine rule. Okay, we're going to learn the cosine rule. And of course, this applies to you GCE and grade 12 school students. Now, when do you use the cosine rule? First of all, let me give you an example. Okay. Given an example, let's say that we have this particular triangle. Okay, let's assume that this is A, this is B, and this is C. Now, I want you to understand that under trigonometry, big letters, they symbolize the angle. Small letters symbolize the distance. Okay, it's very important to understand this concept. Now, what this simply means is, for A, my angle for A is this one, but if I want to find the distance for A, then the distance for A automatically becomes this one. If my angle for B is this one, then automatically my distance for B becomes this one. If my angle for C becomes this one, then automatically my distance for C becomes this one. So I'm sure you are able to see how I'm able to relate big letters with small letters. Now, cosine rule is very simple. Let me show you something. Given the letters, okay, let's say we have been given the same letters we have. Given the letters A, B, C. Now look, from these letters, we are able to create all the formulas that we need to calculate any triangle under this topic. So, if we are to start with A, then we are going to say that, let me just use another color. Small letter A, this is our first formula. Small letter A squared is going to equal to small letter B plus C squared minus, then I repeat the same letters, but this time around I multiply them. Then I say that this is going to multiply cosine, the letter which I put at first, but this time around using a big letter because I'm symbolizing the angle. Let's try to do the second one. How about if we're using B? How is the formula going to be? All right. So if I'm to use B, my formula is going to hold like this. B squared, all right, this is quite big. Let me just try to wrap that, please. All right. So if I'm to use B, then I'm going to have B squared equal to A squared plus C squared minus, then I repeat the same two letters. Okay? Then I say cosine, the same letter which I put at first. Now, I'm using these small letters. Then I'm relating them to their angle. Okay? Now, I want you to pause this video and try out using C. How is the formula going to be like? Well, I guess we just got it right. It's going to be c squared equal to, so the letters that are remaining is a and b. So this is going to be a squared plus b squared minus 2, I repeat the same letters which I added, cosine big letter C. So the cosine rule applies under this particular concept. All right, now having noted how to come up with the cosine rule, you can calculate, the first thing that you can calculate from these formulas is the angle, the distance, okay? You can calculate this and just any other thing. All right, let me just try to wrap the board and just give an example. We now apply these formulas. We see how we are going to be able to use them. All right. Okay, let's try to apply that formula. So, imagine if you are given a triangle of this kind. Okay? Then you have been told that this angle is 120 degrees. And of course, this is your A, this is your B, and this is your C. Okay? Then let's imagine that this is 20 kilometers, and of course, this is 40 kilometers. And of course, the question would say we find BC. Okay. Let's say 2 marks. Now, look at this. When do you use cosine rule? You use cosine rule whenever you have been given a triangle of this kind. You must have the angle, this side and this side. If your triangle looks like this, you need to have the angle, this side and that side. If your triangle looks like this, you need to have this angle, this side and this side. That is when you can only apply the cosine rule. Let me just get to wrap this. Okay. Now, how do you apply what we were just from learning? All right, it's very, very simple, because we know that the distance for C is simply this small letter C, and the distance for B is this letter B. So automatically you can tell that C is equivalent to 20 kilometers, like that. Then B is equivalent to 40 kilometers. Just draw those lines and everything becomes simple. Now, the distance which we are looking for is A. We don't know this distance. Well, so which formula amongst the three are we going to use? Okay, you got it right. A squared is going to equal B squared plus C squared minus 2A, or let me just say B, C, then this is going to be cosine A. All right, now let's try to get to put in the figures. So A squared is going to equal to, what is B? So B has been given to be 40 squared plus C is 20 kilometers minus 2. So we have a 40, we have a 20, then we have cosine. What is the angle? Do you see that what I was just from teaching there applies? So you have the angle which is 120. Okay, so when we reach here, let's now try to calculate. So we can say that 40 to the power 2, and of course we are going to have 1/6. Okay, 1600 plus, how about 20 to the power 2? 20 power 2, we are getting a 400. Now, when you reach here, I advise my students that you punch all of this on the calculator on the same time. So I'm going to say -2, 40, 20, okay? Then I say cosine 120. So, you see, so it gives me a negative number. So the number that I get is a minus 1302.6. Okay, so from here we can say that a squared is going to equal to, this is going to be 1600 plus 400. This is minus 1. This is 1302.6. Let's see what we're going to get. All right, so we're getting a 697.4. Now, we square root this, we also square root that. Okay, what are we going to get? We are getting 26.4 kilometers. You see? So this is how simple the cosine rule is. It's quite very simple. Very, very simple to do. All right, let's try to bring up the sine rule. We see how and when to apply the sine rule. Okay, but maybe before I teach you the sine rule, let me just try to do an application question. Okay, we try to see when we use the cosine rule. All right, so I have this particular question, and it came from a certain it's a past paper, and okay, we're going to do this one, but then let me just show you how to calculate, how to do the shortest distance, so that you'll be able to see just everything. Then the next time we meet, we shall be able to do the sine rule. The better you understand these things, so you'll be able to relate. All right, so I've taught you the distance. Okay, sorry about that. Let me just try to delete this. All right, so now look at this. Look at this. We want to calculate the shortest distance. How do you calculate the shortest distance? Now, this formula is going to apply whether sine rule or cosine rule. Now, if you are given this particular triangle, let's say you have triangle ABC. A, B, C. The shortest distance might be this particular distance. It might be this distance, or whichever distance that will be given. Let me just call this one A, I call this one B. But then, to calculate the shortest distance, you first of all need to learn how to calculate the area of a triangle. But look at this, look at this. Whether you are dealing with a sine rule or a cosine rule, the formula for the area remains the same. Which formula is that? Okay, let's break it down. So, area under trigonometry is calculated by using the formula 1/2, okay, 1/2 multiplied by, so if this is my triangle, look at this, guys. If this is my triangle, remember I said that this distance, the angle for C is this angle, but the distance for C is this one. The angle for B is this one, but the distance for B is this small letter b. The angle for A is this one, but the distance for A is this small letter. So, usually, the angle which you are going to use is this angle here. So, if you're using this angle, then you concentrate on this side and this side. Where am I getting this concept? From the triangle which I had shown you. You get this side and the angle. So that's the same thing that I'm going to do. So which letters am I going to multiply there? I'm going to use B, which is here, multiplied by C, multiplied by, instead of using the sign, the cosine, I use the sign. We always use the sign. So it will be sine the big letter A. So this is the formula that we use for the area. Make sure you take note of that. Now, the shortest distance, okay? Shortest distance is equal to 1 over 2 BH, okay? 1 over 2 BH. Now look at this. We know that this formula is the formula for the triangle. So it is the formula for the area of the triangle. So what is the shortest distance? What do? We put the area. This area that we found here, we put it here. Okay? You must be able to feel the mathematics whilst you are doing these things. Now look at this. What we are looking for is this h because it is the shortest distance. So we cross multiply like that. So we're going to say 2 the area equal to BH. Now let's make h the subject. So we say over B over B. So if we cancel that, our h is going to equal to 2 the area over the base. Okay, so that is the formula that we use for the shortest distance. We shall be using this formula oftentimes, so make sure that you familiarize yourself with this particular formula. Alright, so I guess this now becomes easy for you. We can calculate anything that we want, any question that we want under this particular topic. Okay. So, in our next tutorial, we shall be finding the questions under the cosine rule. Thank you so much, guys. And if this video has benefited you, please subscribe to this channel and share. And don't forget to check out my other video in my next tutorial. Thank you so much.